Have you ever looked at a globe and wondered what's deep inside? We stand on the crust, a thin layer like the skin of an apple. But what if, instead of rock and metal, our planet was mostly empty on the inside? Imagine a giant hollow sphere with a whole other world hidden beneath our feet. This is the idea of a hollow Earth. It is a story that has captured people's imaginations for centuries. It suggests a secret landscape, a hidden sun, and maybe even life thriving in the center of our planet. This idea turns our world upside down, or rather, inside out. If you could journey to the center of the Earth and find it hollow, what would you see? The view would be amazing. You would stand on the inner surface, looking up at a vast curved landscape stretching all around you. Instead of a sky with stars, you would see the other side of the inner world high above. It would be a world without a horizon, where the ground rises to become the sky. Rivers might flow in strange ways and mountains could hang down from the sky above you. It would be a breathtaking panorama, a complete world tucked away from our view on the surface. The entrance to this inner world is a mystery in these stories. Some tales imagine huge openings at the North and South poles, giant holes that lead down into the planet's core. Explorers in these stories would sail their ships over the edge of the world and find themselves descending into this hidden realm. Others have imagined secret tunnels deep within mountains or at the bottom of the ocean. These hidden pathways would be the only way to access the secret civilization or prehistoric paradise that waits inside. The journey itself would be an incredible adventure, a voyage into the unknown heart of our own planet. The scale of this inner world would be immense, almost too big to comprehend. The total land area on the inside could be nearly as large as the land on the outside. Think of all the continents we know, Asia, Africa, the Americas, and imagine a similar amount of space hidden away. This vast new territory could have its own oceans, its own continents, and its own unique geography. It's a place where anything seems possible, a blank canvas for our imagination to paint upon. Exploring such a world would be the greatest adventure in human history, discovering a new frontier not in space but deep within our home. How would gravity work in a hollow Earth? It would be very strange. If you were standing on the inner surface, gravity would pull you down, toward the outer shell. This means you could walk around normally, just like we do on the surface. But things get weird in the middle. As you travel toward the center of the hollow space, the pull of gravity from all sides would start to cancel out. In the very center of the hollow sphere, you would be weightless. You could float, just like an astronaut in space. It would be a place of zero gravity, surrounded by a world on all sides. Where would the light come from? A hollow world would be dark without a sun. So, stories about the hollow Earth often include a tiny sun floating in the very center. This central star would provide light and warmth to the entire inner surface. It would never set, so the inner world would be in a state of constant daylight. There would be no night and no day, just endless sunshine. This constant energy would allow plants to grow everywhere, creating a lush, green paradise. The central sun is the key to making this hidden world a place where life could exist. What kind of life could you find in this hidden world? With constant light and warmth, the plants might grow to enormous sizes. Imagine forests with trees that are miles high and flowers as big as houses. Animals that we thought were extinct, like dinosaurs or woolly mammoths, might still be roaming around in this lost world. Because this world is isolated from ours, life could have evolved in very different and surprising ways. You might find flying creatures that are part reptile, part insect, or gentle giants that feed on the massive glowing fungi of the inner caves. The people or beings living inside a hollow Earth would be very different from us. They would have adapted to a world with no night and a sky that is actually the ground. Perhaps their eyes would be different to cope with the constant light. Their culture and science would be based on their unique environment, with a deep understanding of their central sun and the strange gravity. They might be an ancient, wise civilization that has been watching the outer world for thousands of years. Meeting them would change everything we thought we knew about life and intelligence in the universe. While the idea of a hollow Earth is fun, science gives us a very different picture of our planet's inside. Scientists use things like seismic waves to understand what's deep underground. These are waves of energy created by earthquakes. By studying how these waves travel through the Earth, we have learned that our planet is not hollow at all. The waves slow down, speed up, and bounce off different layers, telling us that the Earth is filled with distinct materials. It is a solid and layered world, not an empty shell with a secret space inside. So what is really inside the Earth? Science shows us that it has 4 main layers. We live on the crust, which is the thinnest layer. Below that is the mantle, a very thick layer of hot semi-solid rock that flows slowly, like thick honey. Deeper still is the outer core, which is made of liquid iron and nickel. The movement of this liquid metal is what creates Earth's magnetic field. This magnetic field is very important, as it protects us from harmful radiation from space. It acts like a giant invisible shield for our planet. At the very center of our planet is the inner core. It is a solid ball of iron and nickel, and it is incredibly hot, even hotter than the surface of the sun. The pressure at the center is so immense that it forces the metal to be solid, even at such extreme temperatures. So instead of a tiny sun floating in an empty space, the real center of our Earth is a super hot, super dense, solid metal ball. This structure is what makes our planet stable and gives it the mass and gravity that we experience every day on the surface. The evidence for this solid structure is very strong. We can measure Earth's mass and density, and a hollow planet would be much, much lighter. Gravity would also behave differently if the Earth were hollow, and we can measure gravity very precisely. The way our planet wobbles on its axis also tells us about the distribution of mass inside. All of these scientific measurements, from seismic waves to gravity, point to the same conclusion. Our Earth is a dense, layered sphere, filled from the crust all the way down to its solid iron core. So why do we love the idea of a hollow Earth so much? It is because it is a fantastic adventure story. The idea of a lost world hidden right beneath our feet is exciting. It sparks our curiosity and our sense of wonder. It is a classic tale of exploration and discovery, like the stories of lost cities or mysterious islands. The hollow Earth is a place where anything is possible. Dinosaurs, ancient civilizations, and strange new laws of physics. It allows our imagination to run wild and dream of a world full of secrets waiting to be uncovered. Stories about a hollow Earth have been around for a long time and have appeared in many books and movies. Writers like Jules Verne, in his book Journey to the Center of the Earth, took readers on an incredible adventure deep underground. These stories created vivid images of giant mushrooms, prehistoric seas, and ancient monsters. They are not meant to be scientific textbooks, they are meant to be thrilling adventures. They remind us that the world can be a magical and mysterious place, even if it is just in our imagination. The fun is in asking what if. This brings us to an important point in science: the difference between a fun idea and a scientific fact. A fun idea, like a hollow Earth, is great for stories and daydreams. A scientific fact, however, is supported by evidence and observation. We use experiments and measurements to test our ideas about the world. When an idea is tested over and over again and all the evidence supports it, it becomes an accepted scientific theory. The model of a solid, layered Earth is a scientific theory supported by a huge amount of evidence. In the end, we can enjoy the myth of the hollow Earth for what it is: a wonderful and creative story. It is a testament to human imagination and our desire to explore the unknown. But we also know through the power of science what our planet is really like. It is a dense, dynamic world with a fiery heart of metal. And frankly, the real science of our planet, with its shifting tectonic plates, its liquid metal core, and its protective magnetic field, is just as amazing as any fantasy. The real world is full of its own incredible wonders. Consider that.